Good day, fam. What is up? So, today's Wednesday wisdom is inspired from last week. I went to go visit my brother for his 40th birthday celebration. And, I was visiting and I went to this local coffee shop. And it's a nonprofit, so they have a lot of volunteers, and they put this collage together and it said stronger together. And I was like, yes, I feel that in my heart, feel it in my soul, I feel it in this body. And I'm like, yes, I love that. And then my next thought was, what does that actually mean for myself? I kind of know what it means for myself, but what does that mean for other people, and what does that look like, right? Because as Dr. Boswinkle said, I believe there to be 144 truths. So if we apply that, what that means for me can look so different for someone else, right? So it's just like such an aha moment, because when we either want someone to make a different choice, want people to do something different, right? And really just make a change, whether it's for the better. Well, ideally we want for the better, right? Ideally we want things for the better. We all do. But that really brings us into what does that mean for you, and what does that mean for someone else? So to have that conversation isn't always easy, because there can be a lot of friction. Sometimes some people are just not willing to listen, right? They have so much pride, they're so stubborn, they're so set in their ways that they're just not willing to listen. So there's only, you can only do what you can do. But just to even have a conversation of questions to see where that person stands, right, on any one thing, and to keep asking questions. And this is something I've been practicing and playing with, not only in my individual self, but also starting to practice it and play with it more with others. So, yes, truth has 144 sides. So where can you apply this in your life? And what situation are you currently in where you can apply it, right? So maybe you're going through a lawsuit. Maybe you're having a healing crisis, which just really means, another way, you're sick, right? It's just our body responding to this healing, right? And maybe you're going through grief. There's a lot of people passing away right now. So maybe you're really dealing with that loss of connection with that person, or even an animal. Maybe you broke off with a relationship or a marriage. Maybe you're dealing with an addiction. Maybe you have certain concerns about the future, or maybe you're just constantly watching the news all the time, right? But where does that truth really hold, and how does that truth or thought that you're believing to be true, right, feel in this body? And how does it feel in the mind? And where is it taking you? Where is that cycle taking you? And is it really serving you? And is it really empowering you, and empowering the other person if you need to have that hard conversation, right? So, and that conversation is not easy. It takes a lot of maturity. It takes a lot of openness. It takes a lot of emotional intelligence. It takes a lot of self-awareness. So, those conversations aren't easy to have, but sometimes just starting it somewhere and questioning instead of assuming what is true for you and the steps that need to be taken may look really different for that other person. And you can't change anyone, right? So for something to change, it has to come from that person, So, where right now can we start to stand together? Where can we come together? Where can we be stronger in that questioning and conversations and applying it in our lives, either within ourselves and with others? And a lot of the time, if you can do both, it's really going to help you, because it's going to help you understand more the emotion that you're feeling, right? Or the thoughts that you keep happening, that keep cycling through. And, change right now is so persistent. And the one thing about change is, how many times have people talked about change in the last 10 to 15 years and even longer, right? Like, oh, we need this to change. We need that to change, this and that. But people never talk about what it really takes to change, what change really looks like. And then also, in any period of change, even if it's something a little bit, more under your control, say losing weight, gaining weight, whatever, right? There's always an uncomfortable period through change. And we are so much going through that on a collective level. Like, the whole world right now is going through a massive scale of change. And there's a really uncomfortable period in that. And we're still in this uncomfortable period. So for some, it could look, like the future is really bleak. But when we can continue to break through that uncomfortability, what lies is more opportunity. So what opportunity, no matter what situation, even if it's really tough, even if it's getting the worst of you, or maybe it's getting the best of you, right? What opportunity could come from this? What opportunity are you actually in right now? Right? Because when we can start to, instead of zooming into a situation and zoom out and look at it from more of, this outside perspective, it can help us start to see in this situation where does that opportunity lies. Because I guarantee you there is an opportunity. And for some, if someone passed away, you're going to be like, well, there's no opportunity. I can never hug them again. I understand that 100%. And I have a lot of space for you. But what you may not see in this moment of grieving is that grief is actually taking you into a deeper place within your heart and your soul, and really starting to see what is most important to you. Maybe you need to change some certain things in your life that actually honor you more, right? So that's where the opportunity, and I'm not saying that is for you, I'm just giving you a little different perspective. And that's ultimately what this video is about. And most of my videos, right, is just giving you a little different take, a little different perspective, because what's true for me isn't true for you or anyone who's watching this. Okay, so change, uncomfortable situation, where can we start to stand together? And what does that look like for that particular person that you're with? Or maybe it's even an animal, right? Where can you bridge that gap? And a lot of the time, what we think that looks like isn't necessarily true for the other person. And sometimes it's just going to be to agree to disagree, and that's it, and the conversation ends there. But then you can say, well, at least I tried and I made the effort, and that's all you can really do, and that's it, right? So I'm trying to think if there is anything else that I want to share with you. And I guess if this is in really regards to another person, you can always ask yourself, whose business are you in? Are you in their business? Are you in God's business, or source, or infinite creator, whichever, name you like? Or are you in your own business? Because a lot of the time right now, we're in other people's business, right? And, that's out of our control. Or we're trying to play God, and that's not where we're meant to be either. We're meant to be in the choices that we can make and create. All right, guys, so I hope you have a grateful day, and I'm trying to think if there's anything else, but I don't think there is. So much love.